Hello, hello guys. Happy Friday. I hope you guys had a wonderful week and are set up for having a even better weekend. For one, I'm very excited about the weekend. I'm hoping it'll be a little bit more relaxing than last weekend. I know this was an unscheduled live, so you may watch this on replay, or as you're popping on, go ahead and leave me a comment, say hello, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, let me know you're watching. Facebook often tells me that people are watching, not who's watching, so I'd love to converse with you, so say hi as you're coming on. I wanted to come on here today and give you guys a couple of tips on a question that I get asked all the time, which is, as a business owner, do I really need a website? It's kind of a complicated issue. It really depends on what kind of business you are running, and that's going to dictate whether you actually need a full-fledged website or not. Obviously, if you're having like an online store or something, you have products to sell, it helps to have a website. One of the reasons why it's important for you to have a website outside of just building your social media and that kind of thing is because you have no control over social media, right? One thing that you may hear people talking about all the time is the fact that this platform that we're on right now, Facebook, is run by Mark Zuckerberg, right? I know you know who that is. And he could one day decide that he's done and he doesn't want to do it anymore and sell it off to someone who goes, you know what, this platform is stupid and I'm just gonna take it offline, and then everything that you've built is gone. So that's one of the benefits to having your own website, is that you are in control of your email list, of the content that goes on there. You know, it really puts you at an advantage as a business owner to have complete discretion and say over the materials that are being presented as you online. So that's one of the advantages, but I understand websites are not cheap. You know, I am a professional web designer, so I know that firsthand. It's expensive to get one, it's expensive to maintain, it's expensive to keep it going year to year, and if you are not a designer or you're not tech savvy and you don't know how to do it yourself, then it's expensive to hire someone to do it for you or to help you do it. I totally understand that. That's something that I know firsthand. So the question is, do you really need a website? And I want to say the answer can be no. Not right away, at least. Not right off the bat. And it's not the most important thing that you should be focusing on. So there are a lot of, being a recovering perfectionist myself, there are a lot of us entrepreneurs, especially creative types out there, who think, I can't put anything out until it's perfect, and it has to be absolutely super honed in and dialed in and just absolutely 100% perfect before I can even direct people there. And that's not true. You don't have to have the best website on earth to get started. You don't have to have all the details ironed out just to get started, right? So, one thing that you can do as a beginning entrepreneur before you have the funds to create your own website or to hire someone to do it for you, or at least get that ball rolling, is you can use your social profiles kind of as a website. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about some tips for making your various social profiles more or less your website, at least somewhere that you can direct people on the internet where they can find you. And stuff is searchable on Google, you guys. So if you type in someone's name, a lot of times, especially if they've been on it for a long time and they have a lot of content, a lot of posts, a lot of friends, a lot of shared media like photos and videos and stuff, their Facebook profile is going to come up first. So if you search for someone by name, more than likely you're going to get their Facebook profile and their LinkedIn. Those are the first two results that are going to come up before anything else, usually. So Those two are super important, and you can use your Instagram in this way as well that I'm going to tell you. So one way that you can make your Facebook profile into your website, so to speak, is by utilizing links. I see so many entrepreneurs on Facebook having no links on their Facebook at all. Facebook allows for links, so take advantage of that. You should definitely have a profile picture that shows you, not your company. I see also a lot of entrepreneurs making their profile pictures like their company logo or something, but it should be you, especially if you are in a face-to-face kind of service-based business. So if you're a service provider or if you're a coach or something like that, it should be your profile picture, a picture of you, not your logo or your company. In your banner, you can make that your you can put your logo in there. You can put extra information, so it kind of lays out like the top banner on a website, the banner that goes on your Facebook profile. So you can use that to direct people where you want to go. You can put links in there. They're not going to be clickable, but if they're easy to navigate to, like if it's just .com/ and then something easy to type in, then you can have that. But definitely use the spaces provided that Facebook gives you for adding links. That's important. So wherever you want to be directing people, if you want to direct them to your LinkedIn, to a free download that you have, to a group that you run, something like that. So definitely utilize the links. I don't see enough people doing that. That's important. Okay, so those are my tips for making Facebook into more or less a website for you. Use your top banner as displaying pertinent information and places where you would want your visitors to go. And then use the links. Have it a profile picture of you, and then use the links that are allowed in your bio for various places that you want to take your visitors. This should be part of your funnel for sure. So the next platform I wanted to talk to you guys about was LinkedIn. LinkedIn is, like I said earlier, the second most popular result that's going to show up when you search for someone's name on Google. So that is also a very important profile to have nailed down, and you can make it look more or less like a website, actually. And the way you do that is kind of tricky on LinkedIn. It's not very easy to set it up this way. Like on Facebook, it's really easy, but on LinkedIn, it's a little bit more of a process. You have to have multiple email addresses, and the way you do that is you would create different business pages for your various, so what you would have on a website, so like about me, all the sections, testimonials, previous works, things like that. So you could have all of your bullet points listed out like you would on a website, like different sections of a website on your LinkedIn, and connect those to each individual business page. If you want to see an example of this, you can go on my LinkedIn profile. This is how I have mine laid out. It's not like a lot of people use LinkedIn like a resume. And as a business owner, it makes more sense to utilize it more as a website than as a resume, since you're trying to make B2B connections or B2C, and you're not necessarily on there to find a job, right? So if you want to see an example, you can go on my LinkedIn profile, just search on LinkedIn Beckett Arnold to see what I'm talking about. And then it's cool because you can customize the little icon that shows up with each bullet point on your different sections. So that's LinkedIn, using your LinkedIn as a website. And then definitely utilize this should also be part of your funnel, and you should always be directing people to something, right? So either to message you or to email you, something like that, to book a free call with you, whatever. So you should always have that somewhere on each of your profiles, just like you would on your website, your call to action, right? The last one I wanted to talk to you guys about is Instagram. So you can use Instagram in this way too, and not enough people are doing this. I swear, it's so easy, and I don't know why nobody's doing it. So on Instagram, you definitely want, if you are a service provider or a coach or something like that, your profile picture should be of you. If you are running like an online retail store or something, then it can be of your logo. But definitely have it be a picture of you if you're going to be giving the face-to-face one-on-one attention like you would if you're a service provider or a coach, right? So that's number one. Number two is utilize the Biospace. I know space for bios. Ooh, really quickly about LinkedIn. One thing that people don't know is the character space allowance on LinkedIn when you're creating your profile on the computer is a lot less than if you type in your bio. It allows you a lot more characters if you do it on mobile. So that's a really good tip. If you're finding that you don't have enough space, do it on your mobile device on the LinkedIn app as opposed to doing it on LinkedIn on the internet, on your computer. Back to Instagram. So Instagram, definitely utilize that bio space. Let them know who you are, who you serve, and what's in it for them. And then add a link. So you definitely need a link tree or a link. I use Milkshake. It's a Instagram link app that you can have that one link in there and then direct everyone to the various things that you're doing. So it's like, they call it an Instagram website. So you should definitely utilize that spot where they have for your link. Unless you have like a promotion going on where you have like a free event or something that you want to specifically promote, then you can use just the one link, right, for that, which would be super, super important. If you are a service provider, it's important to have your location on there so that people know what time zone you're in and you know, whether or not you're going to be local to them. It's not as important now that most things are going to be online anyway, but it doesn't hurt to have that in there anyway, just so they can think about, okay, she's 3 hours ahead of me, or she's, you know, 5 hours behind me, or whatever. And then the last thing, this is super important about Instagram, use your highlights. So if you don't know this, then you've been living under a rock, but on Instagram you have little sections where you can highlight your stories, and so you have different little categories for each story highlight, and it shows up as little circles under your profile, on your profile page under your info and your profile picture, and you need to use those like your web pages. So just like we did on LinkedIn, where you had each of the bullet points is a different section of your website, that's how you should be using your story highlights on Instagram. So you know, you can have about us or about me, and then services, testimonials, previous work, you know, things like that in your story highlights. And definitely put up custom story highlight banners. It's the first image on your story highlights reel. So the very first one no, you can choose from each of your different story highlights which one gets the banner image, which is just the image that shows underneath everything on your profile. Do custom ones. So there are really easy templates on Canva, and if you guys haven't heard of Canva before, then you got to get on Canva. It's like my new favorite tool for everything. As a designer, I don't know why it took me so long to get on board with it. I was so resistant. I was like, no, I'm an old school Photoshop loyalist, and like, oh my God, it's completely changed my life. So they have templates on Canva where you can make a really easy story highlight banner, and then just upload those to your stories. But that's definitely really important. You don't want your banner images on your story highlights to be a random picture that is hard to read from a distance, because how big are those images? They're like, you know, they're really hard to see. So if it's just a picture, it's going to be really hard to tell what it is. It should be something that's easy to recognize at a glance, kind of like a logo. And again, if you guys want to see an example, you're welcome to go on my Instagram at BeckettLA and check mine out and see how I've laid it out and how I've done it. Yeah, so that's kind of all I had for you guys today, how to use your social profiles as your website, so to speak, until you can actually afford to create or hire someone to create your website. So, yep, that's it from me for today. I hope this was helpful and informative, and I will see you guys next Friday.